Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We would like to hear the formal introduction of this year's Student Peace Prize laureate, and it will be given by a member of the Student Peace Prize Committee called Sigrun Espe.
Dear everybody, my name is Sigrun Espe. I am the president of SAI, Students and Academic and Development Organization here in Norway. And this year I've had the great honor of chairing the Student Peace Prize Committee. We were presented with some very good candidates, nominated by people from all over the world. And after careful consideration, the committee decided to award the prize for 2009 to El-Kuria Rabab Amidan for her work with human rights in the Sahrawi people. When presenting this winner, first of all, one must of course consider the context of Amidan's work, the Western Sahara. Morocco claimed this territory before Spain withdrew in the mid-70s. In 1975, the International Court of Justice in Hague accepted the independence movement's claim for self-determination. Morocco, however, did not accept this, and the conflict between the two parties escalated. Many Sahrawi were driven east into Algeria, and approximately 170,000 Sahrawi still live in refugee camps in the middle of the desert. In the 1980s, Morocco built a 2,200 kilometers long defense wall strewn with landmines, which divides the eastern part of Western Sahara and the refugee camps from the occupied territories. The UN-brokered ceasefire, which began in 1991, was to be the first step on the way to a referendum for self-determination. But up until this day, no such referendum has been held. And over to the winner. Rabab Amidan is a young Sahrawi and has worked to highlight the many human rights abuses against the Sahrawi people in general and against students in particular. There are no universities in the Western Sahara, and Sahrawi students are met with a lot of discrimination and abuse at the Moroccan universities. Amidan has herself grown up in the occupied territories of Western Sahara and has experienced a lot of the oppression in many different ways. As a student in Morocco, she has become more and more involved in the human rights struggles of her people. Because of this work, she and several members of her family have been attacked and have actually been tortured. In spite of the constant threats of abuse and of persecution, Amidan has continued her work. Amidan stood out as an exceptional candidate for many reasons. I want to mention two of them here today. First of all, Amidan has managed to build up quite an extensive international network, both in Norway and in other European countries. Here in Norway, all the political youth parties, as well as a lot of different organizations, has gotten involved in this case. The youth parties actually sent a joint letter to the Norwegian authorities demanding, among other things, the recognition of Western Sahara's diplomatic rights. Secondly, we want to underline the methods that Amidan uses in her work. Amidan works to highlight and document human rights abuses. She uses video, writing reports, and not least distributing material and information over the internet. Documentation and information are two of the most important and most efficient ways of combating human rights abuses. In spite of her peaceful methods, Amidan, together with many other Sahrawi human rights defenders, has experienced assaults, imprisonments, and even torture. As a young person, as a student, and as a woman, Rabab Amidan meets many different forms of discrimination in her work. The very important work she does to highlight an intolerable human rights situation under these difficult circumstances is not only an inspiration, it's quite awe-inspiring. Rabab Amidan is an example showing just how important individuals, young people, and students in particular are in the efforts for the promotion of human rights and peace. Students are key resources in the struggle for a better and more just world. Students are important agents of change in their own communities, and they also have a great responsibility. In order for students to have their voices heard, they need to take initiative, to have a great personal involvement and dedication, to work independently, even in the face of resistance, and to have the courage to channel their involvement into concrete actions, even when danger is imminent. Rabab Amidan has shown such courage, such initiative, involvement, and dedication. She takes advantage of her education to reach out to the international community, to create bonds with students and others, which can be a great tool in her work for human rights, also in her work for students' rights, for the Sahrawis' rights for self-determination, and for a peaceful solution to the conflict. Considering all this, the Student Peace Prize Committee finds El Kuria Rabab Amidan to be a very worthy winner of the Students' Peace Prize 2009. We hope and believe that this prize will be an encouragement and a contribution to further human rights work and to a peaceful solution to the conflict in Western Sahara, for the Peace Prize winner herself and for other Sahrawi who stand alongside Rabab in this peaceful fight.